in Kern Valley, the cops would tell you, if you guys got any issues, you can get one-on-one and go out on the hard yard there, right? Not the big yard, the hard yard, where they watch it from the tower.
Yeah.
And they tell you, no weapons. We see a weapon, we're going to shoot you, but you guys can go out there and fight if you want. And then in the feds, see, mostly you don't do that. You don't do that. But you know, there's going to be occasions where people are in cells and they just get them up in a cell or something, right? But that's not really. People aren't trying to really suffer a loss or create other like controversies over that shit. That shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it can turn into something, a lot bigger. Anytime, especially across race lines, anytime something happens, everybody starts getting on point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just how that is.
So when it like no, everyone always talks about the meetings or juntas or whatever you want to call them between shot callers of different races, like, but no one's ever broken down how, like, what the protocol is, how it happens, like, so.
Well, the way it happens,
Yeah.
say there's an incident, somebody's in violation, somebody does something, or some people do something, or somebody feels disrespected or whatever. Then what happens is people sit down and say, okay, what happened? And you got to get down to the bottom of what happened. And then what happens is shot callers get together and they say, listen, this is what happened. And if there's any dispute, they'll bring them together. You're going to get to the bottom of it. And usually there's witnesses or there's other people that know, have some input or whatever. And then what happens is that whoever's at fault is going to get, violated, right? Disciplined, right? The thing is, with whites, it's different. With us, it's different. We don't do that shit. we do not get involved in shit where we are in air. You know what I'm saying? Now, there used to be a saying way back when that a brother can do no wrong, right?
Yeah.
So, but the thing is actually a brother can do wrong. And the thing is, and what I mean by that is, everybody has to be responsible. Because if you're not responsible and you're acting irresponsibly and just thinking you can go around doing whatever you want to do, that's going to create issues and it's going to pull everyone into the situation. And it can create a serious wreck, right? We also had another saying, remember, my hand is your hand, meaning if some work needs to be put in and it's righteous shit and you're not there, I'll take care of it. And also, another saying was, remember, you don't walk alone. That every step you're taking, every step you got an organization behind you. But you got to be responsible to that organization. You can't just be running people off cliffs. You know what I'm saying? Run a whole organization off a cliff and get everybody, some new fucking cases and all that shit, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, like, can you give us an example of different types of discipline? Like, someone might just have to bust down for a day, or someone actually gets like a check. Like, do they have hard checks and soft checks?
Well, some things don't, but like I said, we don't have all that. We tell a guy one time, you don't do that. And they're supposed to know that. And if they do that and there's no mitigation and it's really serious, then, and if it looks like, this person did this with premeditation, then this person can get fucking down. Ours is a different thing. You got these other crews like, lower level crews or Serenos or Norteños and stuff like that. I don't even know the Emmy ever doing no shit like that. We're just on a different level. So if a brother is in violation, really in violation, and it puts everybody else in jeopardy, that guy could get fucking down, because especially if he's doing shit that he knows he's not supposed to be doing, he knows he's not supposed to be doing. And if he does it anyhow, that's telling you he's done this with premeditation, knowing he's wrong. And that's a whole different thing. The violation on that is depending on the cruise you're dealing with. Some will give you like, want you to do, a bunch of burpees, or they're going to give you a 13-second beat up or whatever. We don't do all that shit. Yeah, I don't even know the Emmy ever doing anything like that.
Yeah.
That's like, for real, all bullshit. That's like juvenile shit. That's like getting somebody to join your set, but you're going to jump them in for 13 seconds or whatever. That's their way, but man, we don't do no shit like that. That's like juvenile stuff.
You ever come across the 211 crew?
Yeah, but that's just a whole different fucking trip. The bottom line is nobody fucking likes them. It's like they're a bunch of fucking dope fiends, and they do a lot of shit. And I've run into a few that seem to be okay, but they're just a whole different fucking trip. You know what I mean? And there's a whole bunch of dropouts, 211 dropouts here where I'm at. They just don't like what has become and this and that and whatever, right? So, and there was one, I don't know where he's at now, but the word was they even got their own contract. Here's an example. If you're on a yard and you're supposed to be part of that crew, and then you got guys on the yard with you that were part of that crew but are wanted, and you're not taking care of that, what's that say about you and what's that say about your crew? Okay, then a little bit deeper, there was one guy here, and the word was, people were saying that crew's got a contract on him, a $45,000 contract, half up front, half behind. Well, you better get it all up front if you're going to do something like that, because they're going to burn you. You ain't going to get fucking paid. That's just their style, right? But the thing is if you got a guy that supposedly is on that time and is on the yard, you got people around that are claiming to be part of that, and they aren't taking care of that, it's like, that says all you need to know about that crew, man. And, every now and then they'll use some steel, and on a really rarity, somebody could get killed, but mostly they just beat people up.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's mostly, they call them bashing them out. They'll run 4 or 5 guys in there and beat them up and stomp them out and shit like that. It's a whole different trip.
The news and media, they all seem to make the 211 crew out to be like some hardcore white supremacist.
And they're just, what they strike me as? They strike me as like a bunch of high school wannabe jocks, like bullies, and stuff like that. But I'll tell you something else. Their founders, like Leprechaun and them, those are ex-bloods.
What?
They were white bloods.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's the truth. So it's like, hey, this whole trip out here is different, man. And then they got a thing too about California, like fuck California.
Yeah.
And fuck anything that comes out of California. But on the flip side of that, they aren't trying to leave this system, because whenever they leave this system, then they're in trouble. Everybody I run into, even their own people that are on this yard, just don't talk good about them, man. So it's like, hey, man, it is what it is. All I know is I don't fuck around. I don't mess with them. I don't do none of that. Ain't got no time for that. It's like they're dead enders. They're just stuck, and I ain't with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and especially that trip on Fuck California. It just seems like everyone.
I sent word out to California a few years back when there was one of them making statements. Fuck Cali, and fuck anything coming out of Cali. So I sent word back to the fellas in California, NLRs, skinheads, all of them out there. I say, listen, this is what they're saying. So, let everybody know. This crew out this way is saying, fuck California, fuck anything coming out of it. So let them know. So if they run across any of them, you know what time that is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and they had some crews here. They had 211. They had Aryan Syndicate, and then the ANP, American Nazi Party, and they were supposed to have unified into what's called the AE, the Aryan Empire, and so but still, I mean, it's just they don't have no real structure. They don't have no real organizational stuff, and they just mostly, man, the truth of the matter is most of them are just dope fiends. You know, and they're trying to get money and get high and stay high and just do that. That's what I'm surrounded by around here is fucking dope fiends.
Yeah.
You know, just degenerate drug addicts. They get them Suboxone strips here. The guys get it in their mouths. It dissolves, so they come back and spit their spit out. Then they dry their spit out and turn it into a strip and little quarter strips, and they sell that shit.
That's disgusting.
Oh, it's disgusting. I mean, but that's hey, and they're in line trying to corner the markets for that fucking shit. So it's like you know, and if you had a real strip, like say an 8 milligram strip or something,
yeah,
one of them 8s or something, and the way it's going right now, and if it wasn't a spit strip, you know, coming out of somebody's mouth, it was a real strip. You know, you could quarter that and sell each quarter for $100.
Fuck.
You could make $400 a strip.
Fuck, dude.
They're just fucking desperate for fucking drugs. That and smoking spice.
What is smoke? Hey, so I've always wanted to ask someone because I never experienced it. What was it like with someone actually like going from just being straight? They tried smoking K2 or spice, and then they lost their fucking mind because they don't know what's in it.
Well, I mean, I've seen that a lot around here on spice and on other shit. People bugging out and just fucking weirdo shit. They get weird fucking drugs around here. They'll get, you know, drugs with, you know, cut with, like you're saying, the spice, or they'll get spice that what they call panic, and these guys smoke it and they panic.
What?
I mean, yeah, they panic. I mean, think about this. What kind of trip are you on where you want to use a drug that terrifies you? I mean, what the fuck kind of high is that? I mean, I'm not a fiend or nothing, right? But if I was going to use a drug, I'm going to use a drug that I enjoy. It's a nice fucking feeling. It's this, that. You know what I mean? I ain't going to fucking smoke some or shoot some or whatever that makes me panic.
No, I'm with you, dude.
But that's the shit that's in demand.
I don't understand. What they got?
They're degenerate drug addicts. They'll do anything for a head change. Their lives have become disasters, and their reality is a disaster. So they'll do anything to motherfucking try to disassociate themselves and get out of this reality format.
Even if it's just for it.
Even if it's panic shit. Listen, I've known these motherfuckers that smoke some of that panic shit, or even worse, and just fall out and bang their heads. There's blood everywhere. They don't know who they are. Hey, for instance, there was this Sereno, a kid. He was in a cell with a white dude. He was over there. They smoked some of this shit. The Sereno fell over, banged his head on the ground. He's out. The white dude left because it's a corner cell by a bathroom. These are cells here that don't have no shitters in them. These are dry cells. So we have communal toilets and showers and all that. So he went into the toilet area. He came back and then looked, and they're so fucked up on this stuff. He looked and he said, "Who in the fuck is on my floor? Laying on the floor?" Well, it's the Sereno that fell out. So his cellie comes back, another white dude, picks the Sereno up, puts him on the bed. The kid starts coming around and starts thrashing because he thought he got attacked when he really didn't. And the dude, the white dude that was in there with him, that came back and said, "Who the fuck's on my phone?" Hit him and knocked him out. Again, now knocked him out this time because he's thrashing. So the other white dude told that white dude, "Get the fuck out of the cell." And then he brought the little Sereno dude around, and he says, "Do you know where you're at?" No. Do you know who you are? And he looked at him. He says, am I a Crip?
What?
Dude said, "No, you ain't no fucking Crip." He says, "Well, what am I?" He says, "You're a Sereno." And he's just looking at him. I mean, they're literally that fucked up. There was another one, a black dude, that went into the shower smoked that shit, went into the shower, pulled the curtain shut, fully clothed, laid down on the shower floor, fully clothed on his back, and got to howling like a fucking wounded animal. I mean, this is the type of shit these guys are smoking. These guys are fucked up. They are fucked up. And I'm going to tell you something. Hey, a regular 8 by 11 sheet of paper that's soaked in that panic shit, you could get $3,000 for that sheet of paper.
What the fuck?
Yeah, for real. You get $3,000 for, and if you piece it up, you can sell stamps. You cut little stamp size that's the size of a regular postage stamp. You'll sell it for $60 to $100 a stamp.
That, hey, I could understand the Suboxone for going, but something that doesn't make you feel good.
You have 1 minute left.
Hey, they don't care. They just want to get fucking loaded on anything.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers, I've seen them mainlining a Fexer, a fucking psych med.
I know Wellbutrin will get you like a little coke high, but for like 20 minutes, but that's better than a panic.
Yeah, but they took that out of there.
Oh, they did?
Because too many people were actually snorting that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But,
so yeah, it's just crazy, man. But there's a lot of money involved in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
and they will buy it.